Hello everyone and welcome to another video here again about our favorite Strava segment on this channel, and that is Coll de Rates, Coll de Rate, Coll de Rates, whatever you want to call it. This climb of course has been included in another pro race. We looked at it when it was in the one-day race here in Valenciana, but it's also in the Tour of Valenciana, and we were going to see if they could potentially challenge the KOM time of Tadej Pogacar. But just a quick recap for anyone who hasn't been up to date with this saga. Obviously, the Coll de Rates, famous for first being broken by many riders, but the first real connection point was that of Jonas Vingegaard when he took it with Colo Quick. They also took it with a few other riders, including Peter Uxenberg, who went on to Ineos Grenadiers after that. Then there was Tadej Pogacar, who took it on his final ride of a training camp in December with a time of 12 minutes and 21 seconds, really putting anyone else out of the way. We also had Paul Sissax, the young star from AG2R Decathlon, who had a time of 13 minutes and 1 second. And in our last video, we saw that the pro race were not able to come anywhere near that of Tadej Pogacar's, because also where the climb was, and Mark Hirschi won on that day, but that's completely not relevant at this point. So we were going to see here the stage 2 of the Tour of Valenciana, if they were going to be able to potentially challenge the time of Tadej Pogacar. Remember, Tadej Pogacar put his whole train of riders, and he even spoke about it recently in the Wielerflitz interview he did about that, they probably didn't time it strategically right. But nevertheless, the time 12 minutes and 21 seconds, still a high margin. So I made my way out to the climb and made sure to wait to see if they were going to pass by. Of course, they were going to pass by. And when they did, we had the break first. The break did have a lead of about 4 minutes at one point, but the peloton really did decimate that on the climb. As they came past me, I could see that it was UAE Team Emirates really putting on the pressure here. Bahrain Victorious towards the front as well. Ineos Grenadiers, still a pretty big bunch, to be honest. There weren't too many stragglers behind, and it wasn't long. You can see the pace was really being put on, and riders, few stragglers there, including Jonathan Milan and friend of the channel, Tom Portsmouth. But it wasn't like Milan was spat by 10 minutes, one of the best sprinters in the world. So that gave us an indication. A lot of the domestiques are obviously struggling to keep a foot after a very long stage, but the bunch was still pretty big together. It wasn't a splintered bunch. They were definitely not going to be going for the all-out attempt. And when we look at where the climb was in terms of the profile, this gives us an indication why, as you'll see, it came nowhere near that of Tadej Pogacar's time. There, the top of the climb of Coll de Rates or Rates is reached with 42 kilometers from the finish, and there's one more categorized 2 front line for the riders, and then they had another climb, a Cat 1 climb. So 2 more climbs after this, so that's why they're not going all guns a-blazing, and that is really reflected when we compare it. So if we compare it here to Tadej Pogacar's group and them and the race going one-on-one here, from the Strava data, I've used Brandon McNulty, who was part of that UAE train and had the fastest time together with a bunch of other riders on the day. And you can see already from the inlet to the climb, Pogacar is going 51.8 kilometers. That is 2.4 kilometers quicker than that of the race. And as we follow it all the way to 1 kilometer, we can see at 1 kilometer, they're already 12 seconds behind Tadej Pogacar and the UAE team. And we then extend it to the next part. We can see gaining more time, and by the time we come to 2 kilometers, then it's around 34 seconds. So a huge margin to build up on 2 kilometers for UAE Team Emirates against UAE Team Emirates. But then when we fast forward even more to 3 kilometers, getting into the harder part of the climb, here it's 46 seconds. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? And then when we get to 4 kilometers, even more seconds, and there you go, 53 seconds. But again, we reiterate the point that they weren't going full hammer because of the 2 next climbs coming up. So it is a comparison, but it's not directly fair in a way. Brendan McNulty was also averaging more than 400 watts for this climb. So they weren't going slow by any means, but they weren't going that all out. And then when we go to 5 kilometers, well, venturing towards 5 kilometers, you can see that the gap is extended to 1 minute and 7 seconds. And we continue into 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers. And here you can see 1 minute and 15 seconds. So basically, they were nowhere near this. They were absolutely nowhere near the time of Tadej Pogacar. And by the end, you can see they were 1 minute and 19 seconds behind the Slovenian superstar. And I mean, this kind of opens up the next question in a way. Are we ever going to see this time beaten? I mean, ideally, you would have Visma Lease Bike doing exactly the same thing as what UAE Team Emirates did. In that recent interview with Villaflits, Tadej Pogacar was even hinting that he's going to be taking a lot more KOMs around the world when he unprivatizes all his rides, apparently at the end of his career. But yeah, maybe he's gone even quicker on the Coll de Rates, who knows. But the climb itself, I think Tadej Pogacar and them really did do a phenomenal ride. So you need someone in the caliber of Tadej Pogacar, a Remco or a Jonas, who can do it at the end of exquisite squad. So it really is Visma Lease Bike or Remco Evenepoel, I think, are the only ones who can take this. And yeah, I mean, are we going to see that? Have they already beaten that? Who knows? The reason why Tadej Pogacar still has this KOM, even though we've had 2 pro races go up it, is simply because where the climb is placed. The climb is not placed ideally. It's not placed where the riders are going to be going all out when there's more racing to be done. It's more the controlled effort. So yeah, are we ever going to see this broken by a race? I mean, just do a time trial up this Vuelta a España. That would be great. A small mountain, hilly, or even prologue, like kind of prologue. I think distance-wise, it would go into a prologue. But yeah, Tadej Pogacar insinuating that they could have, well, he didn't say they could have gone faster, but he did say they just went all out. And yeah, I don't think the world champion's going to be losing that in this calendar year as it goes now, because now everyone's going to be busy with their rides. There's no races that I can see that are scheduled for going up here. Yeah, Remco Evenepoel not 100%. Jonas Vingegaard, I don't think he's going to be releasing any Strava rides anytime soon. So it really just, yeah, that Tadej Pogacar effort, 12 minutes and 21 seconds, I think it's going to be keeping its place in that ranking for a very long time. And yeah, I think Tadej Pogacar really just threw down the gauntlet, and I don't think we can see anyone beating that. I have heard rumors as well from none other than Colo Quick that they will in fact be trying another attempt, that legendary effort that they do most years. I think they do it every year, but maybe they only release it when they get it. And they've had success with 3 riders before taking it. So who's going to be that guy to help them take it here? Imagine if Colo Quick got a call up or called up all their alumni, and then Jonas Vingegaard was the last rider on the end of the train of a youthful Colo Quick team. That would be a very good video, and I would definitely want to watch that, and I think we all would. And that could have a chance. Jonas Vingegaard on his top form with a firmly assembled Colo Quick team with alumni, that could definitely do it. But as we saw, it's just there was no match here. The race, UAE versus UAE, but the other UAE only doing 400 and something watts. So yeah, is this the end of our Strava watch for Coll de Rates? Probably. And yeah, if you want to see me on the Coll de Rates, why not check out our video over on the Cycling Day in Action channel, which has come out today, with me going with Anna Dilly in a Zone 2 ride. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, and yes, I will get a haircut next week, so look forward to that. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.